This is the Charlton team sheet that was put into the referee at Newcastle on Wednesday in vain, particularly for Danny Murphy, who would have served a suspension then for his red card against Arsenal here on Monday. That ban now kicks in today. The extra day's rest haven't quite helped Gonzalo Sorondo recover from the foot injury which forced him off against the Gunners, so Hreidarsson reverts to centre-half, and there is a recall for left-back Chris Powell, who spent last season with West Ham. Matt Holland started his career at Upton Park, and defender Jonathan Fortune was a boyhood West Ham fan. So too was Paul Konchesky, but he was very much a Charlton player until this summer. He faces his former club for the first time. There's also a sentimental return for Sean Newton, who spent most of his career at the Valley. It's a rare West Ham start for him. It's a first for Jeremy Aliadiere, who's on loan from Arsenal, because Bobby Zamora has joined Gavidon, Repka and Sheringham on the sidelines. Yossi Benayoun is responding quicker than anticipated to treatment on a groin strain, and he is on the bench. His fellow Israeli international Yaniv Katan, just signed from Maccabi Haifa, is available from January the 3rd when the transfer window reopens.
Fletcher, 15, Yossi Benayoun, 21.
West Ham kick-off. Their last 8 points have all come from away matches. Lost their last 3 at home, including Wednesday's defeat by Wigan. Pardew's men were distinctly below par. 2005 has been a very happy year for the club from north of the river. Not so good for Charlton, particularly here at the Valley. They've only won 4 of their 18 league games on their own ground over the last 12 months, and Tony Gale, that's a terrible statistic.
It's a terrible stat. I think it's a big game for both sides today, Mike, and they've really got to get their seasons back on track. Early corner for West Ham to do just that.
Taken by Etherington, and, defended by Fortune. Grew up supporting the Hammers, but he's out there trying to stop the Hammers here. Sean Newton, both Newton and Konchesky got terrific applause when the teams were announced here. Great credit to the Charlton fans, remembering a couple of former favourites. Here's Chris Powell, who had mixed emotions today. He was hoping to stay with West Ham for this season after promotion. They couldn't come up with an agreed deal, and Charlton welcomed him back, particularly as Konchesky had agreed to go in the opposite direction. And here's Harewood bursting through. There is a feeling, it's maybe a dangerous thing to say in the early minutes of any game, that there certainly will be chances created by these two teams.
Yeah, and that's Marlon Harewood at his best, Martin.
Charlton very keen to get this game on today, having been so frustrated on Wednesday. Sort of a shoe-in. West Ham have been particularly impressive in their away performances, winning at Birmingham, winning at Everton recently, drawing at Portsmouth on Monday when Alan Pardew saw his side really urged on, played strongly in the second half, maybe could have gone on to win that one as well. Mullins, Aliadiere, Reo-Coker couldn't sort his feet out. Etherington, and the goalkeeper must have got a little touch on that. Thomas Myhre.
Well, it was a bit of a scramble the way the ball got to the far side to Etherington, but in the end he gets his shot back across the keeper, Myhre, and it's a good save. I think he just gets the slightest touch on it. Aliadiere trying to get in there for a few scraps. That's a good stop.
One or two good moments so far from West Ham. Myhre judged that, and now uses distributing skills to try and get Rommedahl on the run. Konchesky comes back at his old club. Comes off young, and West Ham have another corner.
It's good defending in the first place from Konchesky. Stopped Rommedahl in his tracks, and from a throw out from Myhre, it's created a corner at the other end, and West Ham back on the attack.
played in by Newton towards the near post, but Bent was there watching that area, marking the space. Aliadiere, partially away by fortune. Kishishev trying to help out Reo-Coker. Could run for Aliadiere, who's putting himself about in these early minutes.
Well, he hasn't had much of a chance, Martin, and this is a chance. When you get your chance, it's important you take it. Put yourself about, as you say, try and get on the ball as much as possible.
That's another notch on the West Ham corner count.
Deliveries haven't been the best so far. Both teams struggling with free kicks and corners. Those deliveries have got to be a little bit better. Yes, flat, but don't hit that front man. And obviously you don't want it too high that the keeper can move his feet easily and get to the ball.
Myhre only pats it down. Aliadiere, Reo-Coker with plenty to aim at. Is that handball on the line by Hreidarsson? West Ham shout for it. It's a big price if it is handball, but I don't think it's been given.
A fumble by Myhre. Reo-Coker gets it back in, comes through, and it looks like it's off the fire of Hreidarsson. Looked a little bit ungainly though, didn't it?
Deeper ball from Etherington this time, and Myhre right up by the bar. It's a more difficult couple of minutes Thomas Myhre is having here than probably Arsenal put to him on Monday.
A little bit of pressure and the deliveries are better. That's the key. Give your players something to attack.
Bent as Collins comes diving in. It's another corner. West Ham know how brittle Charlton's confidence is if they can get in front. And I feel that they can use that lack of self-belief in the home ranks to their considerable advantage. Here's Konchesky. And at the moment, the likes of Bartlett and Bent are having to do a lot of defending the two strikers.
10 players behind the ball, Martin. There's no one up the pitch at all for Charlton, so if they do clear it, it's going to come straight back at them.
Etherington's flick. It's back his way again. Newton. This is Dailly coming forward and got up well.
He's good in the air, Christian Dailly. Arrives late, but he's a little bit too far out really to trouble Myhre.
Many years ago, as a very young player at Dundee United, he did start out as a striker and to roll back those years. He came in on the back post then, Christian Dailly. Been some awkward moments for Thomas Myhre already.
You can see the scramble, and it's a super save from Myhre. There's not a lot of pace on it. That's what makes that one a better save. And this is Hreidarsson as the ball came in from Reo-Coker. You can see a little bit ungainly, but it looks like the thigh to me.
And to Graham Powell, who would have had no option really had it been handball, but to give the penalty and send Hreidarsson off. West Ham are looking to make a piece of history here, Tony. I don't know whether you're aware of this, but they've never beaten Charlton in an away match in the top division. And they're making a promising beginning to maybe setting a new mark in the club records. Holland, who was at Upton Park as a youngster but never played in West Ham's senior side. Aliadiere. Kishishev was straining and rather trailing in the wake of the young French forward.
He's had a good start, Martin, that's important. Coming to the side, he's looking busy, he's just dropping back off the main striker, Harewood, and setting things up. He's looking sharp in the early stages.
Collins got to it. Aliadiere trying to apply the extra touch that it needed. Powell can't get it away. Headed out by Hreidarsson, collected by Rommedahl. Maybe a counter-attack for Charlton here with Darren Bent. Mullins trying to buy his side a bit of time. Charlton a bit short of support for their top scorer. And when the ball came in, there's no one sufficiently close to cause James Collins a problem.
I was so worried about defending set pieces at the other end, Martin. Exactly what I said. They had no support for Bent at all. So it was a good little breakaway situation that they had.
Hughes, Kishishev. I've got a few players to aim at in the middle now, and Anton Ferdinand misjudged that. Managed to intervene, but not in the way that's been deemed a pass back to his goalkeeper, Reo-Coker.
I think that's another good decision from Powell. I think Ferdinand just stuck his foot out and ended up a pass back, but I certainly think it was inadvertent.
Like a bit of the upper arm from Rommedahl, but play on. Mullins. And there's a chance here for Harewood to show his pace and his power. Doubling up on Hreidarsson, but Harewood's still going. Holland was diving in. Sometimes a weight of numbers can do the job, but it looked as though it was going to confuse the issue. Too many cooks for a moment defensively for Charlton. Etherington. And Rommedahl knew what he was doing. He stuck out a leg quite deliberately then and brought Etherington down.
Well, I think you're exactly right what you're saying. They're defending nervously, Charlton.
And that's the most nervous moment of all so far. Rommedahl just hoists it into his own penalty area in a rather poor attempt to clear. And he then bashes it against Kishishev. Mentally, Charlton are struggling.
Don't panic, Mr. Myhre. It really is like everybody getting back there, and you know what happens is, Martin, you get so many people behind the ball, you all leave it to each other, and that's what's happening at the moment.
Harewood. And in goes Aliadiere, and it's just snatched from him by Myhre. Bent. Charlton need a bit of control play here. Konchesky. He's given it away to Young. So Bartlett couldn't find Bent, who was lurking on the right. And it's Mullins and Newton trying to get some challenges in. That's a bit more pleasing from Alan Kirbishley's perspective. Holland. Attack might be the better form of defence for Charlton Athletic. Kishishev gave the ball away then.
I think this is where they're losing out, Martin. They're second to the ball in the middle of the park at the moment. West Ham far sharper into the tackles, moving the ball a little bit quicker.
Rommedahl wanted that to run. Bartlett. It's a well-judged ball by Hreidarsson. Bent. Bartlett and Hughes are in the middle. Batlett! It's a bit smash and grab from Charlton Athletic, but it means so much to them. 20 minutes gone, most of which has been spent defending, and defending very nervously. But suddenly there's Sean Bartlett, and the home team have got a priceless opening goal.
I think the key here is Konchesky gets caught up the pitch, Etherington ends up in the left back spot, and it's a mismatched defending against Bent. It's a brilliant cross, great pace on it, great shape, and Bartlett just has to run it in on the far post. Super cross from Bent, good finish from Bartlett, right against the run of play, but West Ham have really gone forward. Konchesky in advance of Etherington, left Etherington at left back, and they paid the price.
Well, it's tough on West Ham, but what a tonic for Charlton.
It's just what they needed, Martin. They wasn't doing anything else right, that's for sure. I think Alan Kirbishley on the line would be panicking. Alan Pardew there, he'd be thinking, well, maybe we could have been 1 or 2 ahead. And look, first attack, we're 1 down.
Sean Bartlett gets his first Premiership goal since April. Missed a lot of this season. Bent. Hreidarsson. Here's Rommedahl. Bent's in the middle with Bartlett this time. And there's a fine save by Catroll, who saw it late. Well, Charlton aren't getting the corner.
Well, Rommedahl comes inside. It's a great save by Catroll, but how is Bartlett not offside there, Martin? He lets the ball go through his legs.
Well, I think he is offside, Tony, because the corner's not been given.
Well, the corner's not given, but I don't think the linesman down here on this near side was flagging for offside. It's a strange one.
Reo-Coker. West Ham United have been showing plenty of resolve and attacking ambition, looking for even more now. Etherington. Can make it his again. They attack well down their left-hand side, West Ham. As you were saying, Tony, it can leave them a bit vulnerable, and Collins has lost this one. It's Bartlett again. And it could easily have been a 2-0, and maybe should have been. It's a corner.
I think he's just waiting for it to come down. It's the case he's too slow onto it. Collins misses it, misjudges the flight. Should be onto that quicker. And really, that should be 2-0.
Now, when we look again at the Charlton goal, the same assistant, Phil Sharp, had a decision to make.
There's the ball from Hreidarsson. Yes, and he's definitely offside, isn't he? Bent on that right-hand side. The hands go up. Offside on the right-hand side. Great cross, though, for the goal.
Oh, Etherington. And it's Newton! A great chance to score on his return to the Valley, but Myhre kept it out.
Well, they're doing everything but score. Great movement by Etherington. Sucks in defenders. Frees Newton. I think he's got to go across the keeper there. Makes it a little bit easier for Myhre on that near post.
Etherington's corner, Hreidarsson's header, Collins. Konchesky can have a look at this, completely unchallenged. And Hreidarsson again, they're serving Charlton nobly in the air. But he's looking at the referee. No foul. Harewood. Kishishev took it from him, but now Reo-Coker. So much promise, plays with so much responsibility for one so young. Newton. Oh, there was no flag, and Harewood missed with the overhead kick. Glenn Turner was getting a bit of comment from Chris Perry, one of the Charlton substitutes, I think.
And he gets it exactly right, the linesman. Luke Young's gone over complaining. If Harewood's more aware, he can bring that down on his chest rather than going for the extravagant overhead kick. But as soon as he came back on his back foot, Newton on the other side, that's the cue for the defence to come up. They were a little bit slow, didn't come up as one, and he was onside.
Rommedahl, Etherington and West Ham still getting bags of the ball here at the Valley. Aliadiere. Behind Newton. Uses the strength and screen it in, but didn't do so.
They're like the away side, aren't they, Martin? Charlton, they're playing on the break. It's West Ham having all the play, and they must be wondering how they're one down at the moment.
We'll go right again to Christian Dailly here through Hayden Mullins. Reo-Coker, Harewood. It's a decent try. hot on the heels of Sean Newton's chance.
Well, he hit one at Portsmouth a couple of games ago, and when he does smack him, he gets him like a sledgehammer, Mullins Harewood. That's not far away. Myhre would have been given no chance. This is Newton's chance earlier. Etherington does excellently to keep it going, gets it across to him. I feel he's got to go across the keeper there. Good save by Myhre.
Do you know, he's still never scored in the Premiership, Sean Newton. He's played, of course, for Charlton and for Wolves and for West Ham, and he scored his goals outside the top flight and in other competitions. That was a great chance to break that duck.
He had a similar chance at Portsmouth as well, Martin, and he just, well, I think he blasted that one over the top. This time he hit the target, but it was an easy save for Myhre on that near post.
Young. Still more than 10 minutes to go in the first half. Charlton lead. Some winter sunshine causing problems for the players and occasionally for our cameras. Aliadiere. Reo-Coker looking for Dailly. It's a fine spot. It's Etherington prodded away by Hreidarsson. Skin of the teeth stuff for Charlton defensively once more. Konchesky. Everything but a goal for Alan Pardew's men.
Well, they're giving him a real battering, and Charlton getting bodies in there, getting it away. Dailly again getting in a great position. Again it was behind his strikers.
Harewood has lost Hreidarsson. It's a difficult angle. Charlton finding it very hard to get any respite, really. And keeping the ball in midfield has been kind of a daunting prospect for them, and just going forward nervously by Hreidarsson then.
They've been totally dominated in the middle of midfield. Reo-Coker and Mullins have got more energy, they've got more passing ability. They really haven't put 2 or 3 passes together, Charlton. That one break, that one goal, I don't suppose Curbs will mind if at the end of today it's 1-0 to Charlton.
We'll be thinking that if you can just put it right together on the break again, it's a situation that could be even further improved. But they've had to ride their luck at the back.
Steady on!
Come off Ferdinand's head. Holland anticipated that. Rommedahl! Catroll kept it out, couldn't quite hold it, got some help when he needed it.
Again a good save. Low down.
So Charlton keeping it short. Bartlett's made his way forward now. Rommedahl behind Hughes. It's Bartlett, and it's Holland and Young. Roy Carroll is hurt, and Sean Bartlett really could have put Charlton into a very, very positive position right on half-time here. He's had the chances in this first half to have a hat-trick. It's just 1-0 to Charlton. But here's Young, and it deflects off Mullins.
It's a super game of football, Martin, isn't it? A real good game of football, chances at both ends. But again, it's Charlton on the breakaway, particularly down this right-hand side. Konchesky gets sucked in, and then they get in behind. Great save from Catroll with his feet, and then a great block after that.
1 minute additional time to be played.
By Reo-Coker. Chance for Harewood to run if he can keep it in, which he does. Holland responsibly has got across. He's got the pace to get past him though, which he has done, and others. And now he's just checked back, but again, it's the second time that's happened in a couple of minutes. He could have just played it to the left, could have just kept the move going.
Well, he does so well, Martin, doesn't he? He looks a £10 million player when he comes out, he strides, he gets forward. All he's got to do, as you say, is knock it wide and get in the middle. But again, when he slows down, it gives defenders chances to get back at him.
Let's have a look at this Bartlett chance.
Well, they get behind West Ham again. Look, in behind Konchesky. That's Rommedahl cutting it back. Shot comes in. Great save from Catroll, and then a great block as well.
And a great first half from the neutral perspective. It's been pretty good for Charlton in the sense that they are leading at half-time. Alan Kirbishley will be grateful for that in the shape of the game, because Alan Pardew's team have been the dominant force for so much of it. And there was a question about the goal with Phil Sharp, the assistant, keeping his flag down as Hreidarsson played it left to right to Darren Bent, but what Bent did after that was absolutely perfection for Sean Bartlett. And by that goal, Charlton lead a terrific football match at half-time, 1-0 at the Valley. I guess it's an appropriate time for me to tell you that West Ham have scored 26 goals in the Premiership this season, 18 of them in the second half. Just on the second half records, they are in the top 4 teams in the country. We need another strong showing in the second period here. Having failed to cash in on their superiority, particularly Tony in the middle of the field.
Yeah, definitely, Martin. They really have played well in there. Reo-Coker and Mullins, I think they've really dominated in there. They dictated the pace of the game. But having said that, Charlton did create their chances at the end of the half as well. Maybe could have gone 2 up, but I think that would have been unjust on West Ham.
Powell, Hreidarsson. Goalkeeper came and called. Aliadiere to anticipate a flick on from Harewood, but Hreidarsson made that ball his emphatically. Mullins playing for West Ham for the 100th time today. And his move from Crystal Palace. Konchesky. Etherington. Dispossessed by Young. But particularly a short touch. When the end he was muscled and wrestled to the ground by Collins.
I think his poor touch won him a foul, Martin. And I think if he'd have looked a little bit earlier, Bent, if he'd have just played it on first time, Bent could have got in, but his poor touch in the end allowed him to be wrestled to the ground by Collins.
It's a free kick in a central position for Charlton, and he's trying to stand it up in there towards Fortune. He has a swing at it, drops for Hughes. He sticks out a foot to good effect. And Holland needs a bit of attention.
Just jumping up in the air there with Marlon Harewood, and I think just the arm comes across him. No swinging elbows or anything like that. Just a bit of a cut lip, I feel, for Matty. He was an apprentice at West Ham when I was there, Martin, and didn't get in, went down, shall we say, to come up, went to Bournemouth and then came back up again, and he's had a good career, Matt Holland, a very, very good career.
One of the true gentlemen of the game as well. I don't know whether the Charlton management are totally proud of the statistic, but Matt Holland's played now over 150 Premiership games and never been booked as a tackling midfield player. It settles for the corner.
Another misjudgment in flight. It was Collins in the first half. You can see there, Fortune misjudging that one. The higher the keeper kicks them, the more they move about in the air.
Move about in the air, it's certainly given plenty of air, and it actually went out to come back in again, so it's a wasted opportunity for West Ham. Just thinking at half-time, it's not easy to sustain the level of performance for 90 minutes that West Ham have put in for 45 away from home.
Yeah, they did come out the traps very quickly, and I think that's something that Alan prides himself on in his team as well, that they do get at teams quickly. But of course, when you have so much of the play, you're in the ascendancy, you do create those half chances, it's very, very important to take them. Charlton, the first chance they had, they took. It changed the face of that first half.
Kishishev. Nice lay off by Bent. This is Rommedahl in a shooting position. Oh, and it trundled on beyond Catroll, hit the post, come back into play. Here's Powell. And now Holland. It's wide.
Great strike from Matt Holland, didn't curl back though. The pure strike which didn't curl. There's the first chance from Rommedahl, he breaks through from midfield. I think there's a slight deflection as he runs at the defence. Comes off the heel of Ferdinand, and a bit of a trundler, but he was beaten, Catroll. Powell had his shot blocked. Holland comes in and fires just wide. There you can see, just clips off Ferdinand's foot.
Young. Rommedahl's cross, and Collins wanting Catroll to call for it, and the two players are just at each other for a moment.
I think he's backing into his own goal, Collins. Obviously didn't get a shout, he needed one. No Charlton attackers going in there, did Roy Catroll call him? Well, if he didn't, he'd done the right thing, Collins, glancing it away for a corner.
Corner to be delivered by Dennis Rommedahl. And trying to twist it goalwards. The ever-willing Hreidarsson.
Maybe would have been a bit better served, just trying to help that one in on Martin. Very difficult to twist back on yourself, and there wasn't a lot of pace on the cross, trying to get the header in on goal.
And Christian Dailly goes off, and this is a substitution really reserved for emergencies only. Benayoun, of course, instant impact in his first season with West Ham, but he's missed a couple of games through injury, a muscle strain that's responding to treatment. Sean Newton's gone to right back, and Benayoun, as you would expect him to play, on the right of midfield. But from the right of midfield he could crop up anywhere further forward as West Ham continue this quest for an equaliser. But now it's Bent, and he's crashed it across the face of the goal. Playing the percentages really, it might go in, it might come for somebody else. It did neither.
I think the first touch just gets away from him a little bit too much. You can see just here, look, takes it away on a little bit more of an angle, does the right thing as you said, but doesn't quite hit the target. Good strike, doesn't quite hit that target. Benayoun coming on this right hand side, as you said, Martin, he will drift in, and he has got that ability to pick out the final pass. Probably what West Ham have been missing today, the ability to pick out the final ball. He's got that.
Hughes. It's been a real hell for leather game.
Behind West Ham so easily in the first place, and that's been a problem all afternoon. But the ball's set up, Powell whips it in, and Bent comes in on that far post, hangs, and it's a great header. Here you can see, shouldn't really be getting in behind them there. But there's the ball in the box. There he gets up, he hangs, gets across Konchesky, and it's a fantastic header in the corner. Great header from Darren Bent.
Well, Darren Bent gets his 10th Premiership goal, and a goal that was really the story of these two left-backs who have swapped clubs. Here's Rommedahl, Konchesky in the firing line again, Bent! And it beat Catroll but beat the post.
He just mishits it. Rommedahl comes inside, sets him up, it's a bit under his feet, and it's, well, comfortably wide really.
Well, Paul Konchesky is on the wrong end of this really, and the quality of the cross from the left back, the two left backs who swapped clubs in the summer, and at the moment Konchesky would swap sides. He's on the wrong end of the result. There's a little bit of a reaction here from Hreidarsson, and a yellow card for him. Can't come down, says the captain, Luke Young. And referee Graham Powell, who's shown already this week, as two Everton players, Phil Neville and Mikel Arteta, know that he's no mood for seasonal mercies.
There you can see, I mean, Hreidarsson really is very competitive and he always puts himself on the line for a yellow card, Martin.
Konchesky hit it hard. He'd love to be responsible for a recovery here. And Harewood is also he's getting a ticking off, but I don't think he's going to see a card. This is what happened.
Marlon Harewood just being pushed and shoved around by Hreidarsson and ends up reacting.
Hughes went for the pass for Bent. Rommedahl, support eagerly supplied by Young. Bent able to take it down. It wasn't the most secure of touches. The ball rather got away from him. And the outcome was a corner.
Well, the cross comes in, you can see. Slight touch from Konchesky away for a corner.
Hreidarsson! Parried by Catroll. It was too low to turn it over, he just knocked it out and then went and got it. Here's Aliadiere chasing. A bit of confusion for Charlton at the back, but Myhre in the end makes his point, as both goalkeepers are needed within seconds.
Well, a foot either side of Roy Catroll, and that's a goal, because it was a header from point-blank range, well attacked by Hreidarsson. Shouldn't really have allowed him that run and jump at the ball.
Rommedahl. A combination of Etherington and Konchesky. Konchesky in a hurry. Roy Catroll, the strong save here.
It was great reactions, wasn't it? From only, what, 6 yards out. But again, not defending that high cross. Hreidarsson coming in, getting the run and jump, well up above the defence.
Yeah, I thought Aliadiere was labouring a little bit, and Bellion returns to the Valley, where he played here for Manchester United reserves in a reserve league title decider last season and picked up quite a serious injury. He's on loan at West Ham from Old Trafford, of course. Played on the right of midfield against Wigan, started the game, but do himself justice. He wasn't alone in the West Ham performance on Wednesday. I don't think Alan Pardew will be saying that about his team here, but they're trailing by 2 goals to 0 to the previously struggling Charlton. Good movement by Reo-Coker. He hasn't given it up. Fires it across. This is with a foot. When it's your day, it just drops like that to a teammate. It may well be Charlton's day here. And they won't be taking anything for granted as they go into the last 15 minutes, even with a 2-goal cushion. Powell. Hreidarsson. Charlton got Kevin Lisbie ready to come on. Both strikers are looking across to see which one's going. It's Sean Bartlett.
Please show your appreciation to number 17, Sean Bartlett.
Good reception.
Scorer of the first goal, Martin, wasn't he? And he's done very well in defence as well. Done a good job today.
And Lisbie is making his way back to Premiership fitness via a loan spell with Norwich City, who West Ham play in the FA Cup next weekend. Konchesky. Now Etherington. Charlton 2-0 up without the services of Danny Murphy through suspension. Murphy mentioned in one morning newspaper as his time at Charlton might be limited as the transfer window opens up next week, but there wasn't much being said about that by Alan Kirbishley and his management staff before the game. Might mean a tiny bit extra for Mervyn Day and Alan Kirbishley with their West Ham connections, but they need a win against anybody, Charlton, at the moment, and they're getting ever closer to it. Powell, it's Mullins, and Benayoun, and Harewood. Another nearly moment for West Ham.
Inches away from getting to the pitch of that ball. That's the type of ball I've been talking about. Benayoun picking out a ball behind that square defence. Harewood couldn't quite get onto it.
Mullins has lost it in midfield. Holland. Hughes just tucking it wide to Bent. Now Rommedahl looking for Lisbie, and Hughes. Well, it has been a match of so many opportunities.
Well, again, it's in behind Paul Konchesky. Collins slow coming over to spot the danger. Eventually comes over. And West Ham a little bit fortunate to get away with that one.
Bellion. Kishishev, but Mullins was there. And Kishishev went to try and make up for his mistake.
It's late again, it's a couple of times, not quite made contact, Kishishev, but a couple of times he's got away with it.
It's Konchesky free kick. Oh, and Anton Ferdinand, we're still at a stage that West Ham could rattle Charlton's cage if they get one goal.
Well, it's little Kevin Lisbie who's marking him, and I think maybe Ferdinand Jr. may have got in front in that bet, or level, is it Martin, of his brother. Rose early and certainly should have hit the target.
And the majority in this crowd of just under 26,000 look as though they're going to be going home happy. And such a home hoodoo for Charlton. First half of the year when Paul Konchesky was still a Charlton player. Remember, they started this season with 5 consecutive away wins. Phenomenal sequence of results. Lisbie!
Good little half-turning shot from Kevin Lisbie, but so deep West Ham, not reacting to the ball back. Get pinned back on their own 6-yard area. Good half-turn from Lisbie, and he's inches wide. Through the legs of Collins, and Catroll was beaten.
Forward by Collins, touched on by long-haired Benayoun. Bellion's cross, spotted by Young. Newton. Decisive football came in the first half, West Ham. some good years here as a Charlton player. Not a happy return to the Valley for Alan Pardew, it seems. Hesitation. We have had 3 different goalkeepers, Charlton, this season. 3 in relatively recent spell as well. That's one reason why there's some hesitation at the back. And now Benayoun, coming from an onside position, is in. Hreidarsson couldn't stop him. But of all the missed opportunities that West Ham have had today, perhaps that's the most glaring.
Well, 2 players coming back from an offside position, Benayoun coming onto the ball. And again, it's always this rule that really confuses defenders, but he's onside, does the hard thing, shrugs Hreidarsson off, but doesn't do the easy thing and hit the target and work Myhre. Should have been a goal.
Stretching for Sean Bartlett. And we need it again in some 48 hours of time. They travel to the northwest tomorrow to Charlton for their away fixture against Everton. Cleared by Hughes. Cannot underestimate the importance of this result to Charlton Athletic. Newton. Etherington. And that's a brilliant piece of play by Darren Bent. Can he go it alone here and really set the seal on it for Charlton? Anton Ferdinand showed his own pace.
That's great defending by Ferdinand because he was one-on-one. Slips Collins, and I think that's been a problem for West Ham today. Bent peeling off on that right channel all the time. Maybe Anton should have been marking him a bit more during the game, Darren Bent, because he can match him for pace.
Well, it's an A result for Alan Kirbishley. And the goals from the B team. Darren Bent in the second half and Sean Bartlett in the first. Much relief for Charlton Athletic. They ring out the old year with only their 5th home win in the Premiership throughout 2005. That's where the problems have been. And it's West Ham, although they played so well here in the first half, they're in a sticky patch of their own at the moment. They have got some key personnel missing. But the Hammers will always look back with affection on this past year. It brought them promotion. But today brought Charlton a much needed victory. And no one will have enjoyed this more than Chris Powell. Plenty of years at Charlton, but last season of course with West Ham. And he has this end of match routine in tune with the Valley support. Victory at the Valley for Powell and his pals by 2-0.
Well, a win is a win is a win.
Well, it certainly is, and you know, I think our first half was very nervy. West Ham came and got on top and dominated for long periods of the first half, but we created the chances, and I think if it wasn't for a couple of saves from Roy Carroll and some better finishing, we could have been 3 or 4 up at half time. But West Ham had most of the ball. I think it evened itself out a little bit more in the second half, and as they pressed on West Ham to try and get back in it, I think we scored the second and could have had a couple more.
I think you know, the way we started the game, it felt like we was odds on to get that first goal. We had numerous chances, and then really with their first attack, and I think it got a big deflection, eliminated our defenders. They've taken the lead, and then unfortunately for us, we see why Charlton have stayed in this division for so long, because their experience told, I thought, at that period. They got the goal, they didn't really move far, they didn't look to play too much football or put the ball at risk. Made it difficult for us, and then, you know, as we're committing people forward, there's always a chance of a second, and unfortunately that came for them.
Obviously it's very fresh in everyone's minds, and you know, with me leaving here in the summer, Paul Konchesky going that way as well. And I had a fabulous year there last year, obviously culminating in them going up, and I'm ever so pleased that they've been doing well. But obviously today I didn't want them to do particularly well, but it was a great day all round. You know, I got a great reception by their fans. They're vociferous. They get behind the team, whether you're doing good or bad. And you know, I was very proud that they clapped me. And obviously, I was involved in one of the goals, but I just turned away and ran off. You know, so it's good for us because we desperately needed a result.
10 Premiership goals now this season.
Yeah, I mean, I would have settled for that for a season at the start of the season, but no, I've managed to do it by just after Christmas, and I'm just looking forward to the next game now.
And the new year, I guess you've got a cap, but a full England cap would do for you for 2006.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, all I can keep doing now is just keep doing the business for Charlton and keep improving and keep doing as well as I can, and hopefully that's not too far away.
So Charlton beat West Ham by 2-0 at the Valley. And for Charlton against West Ham, and really West Ham in control right up until the 21st minute.
Yeah, again we're talking about controversy, and this one looked a slightly suspicious offside when Darren Bent actually received that ball. But this has gone a long way. You see here, you can see by the length of the shadow of the Charlton
He's
player.
offside, isn't he?
He looks well offside there, and the linesman perfectly positioned, but manages to get away from it. There is one arm goes up, but watch this ball, how Collins leaves it. The first man there, it's gone past three of the defenders there, and it's Sean Bartlett coming in at the back post. But a big win for Charlton. Of course, they've been having an indifferent time, and West Ham, I don't know, they've just lost their way a little bit in the last few weeks. They've had a couple of upsets, finding it difficult to get a win. Started off the season so brightly, but this is what happens, I think, when teams come up from the nationwide.
Friendships